Hello, everybody. That's right. The Summit 5. The Summit is back, and we are in the European qualifier. It's phase number 2, and we're heading into round number 2. It's Virtus Pro versus Finem. We just witnessed Virtus Pro best alliance in a full best of 3-game series, but pretty much for all 3 games, Virtus Pro looked damn solid. They brought a aggressive pace, and they just really laid it on Alliance and just shoved him down that lower bracket. Now they're going to go against a real tough challenge here in the Greek squad at Finem. I'm KotLGuy for Beyond the Summit. I'm going to be joined again remotely by my good buddy, Mr. Alan Ryu Anderson. Welcome back, Ryu. And, well, what do you make of this matchup, Virtus Pro versus Finem? You said you felt pretty good about Virtus Pro going against Alliance, but now what do you think against them and Finem?
Reserve time.
Finem just lost a close 3-game series against I think Team Spirit for the Nanyang. So their morale is probably a little bit down. Virtus Pro is a little bit up. So from a morale standpoint, probably Virtus Pro has a little bit. But both teams have been playing a lot today. So I mean, it could be anybody who's just like, okay, well, you're Dota players, you're grinding games all the time, you're playing tons of qualifiers a day, and it's just basically who's going to show up and play. Because I think it's another series where it's both dead even, where it's like, 55, maybe 45 once again for Virtus Pro, just because of their hot streak. But Team AF, they can win anytime. But it's like what I was about to talk to you about was, this looks exactly like our Game 1 draft almost.
Yeah,
from
right?
Alliance.
I mean, Virtus Pro have no shame in pulling out what they just did. And, yeah, I mean, Finem, I'm sure they were hanging around probably watching the series, waiting to see who they were going to be facing up against. And, I don't know, maybe they feel like they can do what Alliance did, but a bit better. But Virtus Pro already warmed up with this kind of a lineup. I would imagine that they could be more favored. I remember No Fear in his disruptor play was actually ridiculous in that game number 1. He set up some wonderful static storms, and it ended up being very unfortunate, excuse me, for S4 and his puck that game, getting caught out in the upper part of the river and all that. But we'll see if the same thing happens for this go around and what Finem plan to do to change things up. If we did see a potential weakness in that Virtus Pro draft from game number 1, what do you think it could have been, and maybe something that the Greek squad could do to maybe have a better time?
10 seconds
just
remaining.
Constantly when they if they 5-man like Virtus Pro did, you have to make sure that either you 5-man rotate and you get more kills than they do, or you're taking objectives elsewhere on the map. And because Phoenix wasn't even touched this game, it's going to be picked up from Virtus Pro.
Yep.
We saw this exact same thing earlier too, where Alliance, they got Wisp plus Doom, and this time it's just Wisp plus Lion for Team AF here. And Virtus Pro's team fight is just absurd.
Remaining.
So you're going to have a hard time fighting into that. And what you have to do is make sure you take objectives elsewhere on the map, or just find pickoffs constantly around the map. So a good hero in this situation is actually Clinks. Like Clinks, potentially Ursa for AF right now. Maybe they don't want to pick up their carry right now. Maybe they go for their offlaner right now, but need something for that egg. Need something to help out. Even Clinks could be a good deny pick for VP, right? Like VP might just go back for Clinks right now, and it's just like, well, how do we stop that? And it's kind of like the same thing. Puck for Alliance earlier.
Yep. That would mean we're probably going to be seeing the Clinks right here and now, because it's like game number 1. Again, Virtus Pro, it's so funny. I mean, it's straight up deja vu, because Virtus Pro lost the coin flip again. They lost it against Alliance. Alliance opted for first pick, so again, same thing now. Virtus Pro opted for Dire. They get the same draft. They're drafting the same way. This is where they would pick the Clinks. I mean, Virtus Pro have no shame in doing these runbacks. They were even going to do it in Dream League when they had their matchup against Na'Vi, but Na'Vi did buckle and change their draft slightly. And then that would leave G with the last pick. But now that we've already seen the puck, okay, well, there's the Clinks. So, by this trend, what was it? I think it was a Viper from G in game 1. Was that what it was? No, that was game 2?
It was Razor.
It was Razor
VP. So what AD or AF can do right now is They can do
10
the axe
seconds
strategy that I
remaining.
called for, but it's so difficult.
5
Like you can
seconds
try and run
remaining.
aggressive, but you don't have like the Juggernaut, which was a really good ban. Like Wisp, Jug plus Lion could take it to the Clinks,
Reserve time.
but you need to find some kind of initiator hero left in the pool. That could be really good for your offlane. Also need to think about your carry here. What could be really good? Sven is decent, but I just feel like he's gonna get kited constantly, and they have a lot of ways to control him in team fights until he gets his BKB. So could be scary, but potentially what AF want to try to do. It's a really bad anti-mage game. I don't think anti-mage could get online fast enough, but I know Madara loves that hero, so.
If they get a Sven, I'm gonna giggle, like without question. Like it just feels like FNM are like, you know what we're gonna do is we're gonna take Alliance's draft and we're just gonna show them how they were supposed to do it. And that Virtus Pro, you did not have the better draft. We just think that we can play Alliance's draft better. Yeah. And if that was the case, then we would see a Sven pop up here. But it is gonna be a bit different. Bulldog did not play a Tidehunter that game. Did he play Doom that game? Now I can't remember.
He played Doom. He played Doom off lane.
Yeah.
Got the greedy Midas. Tide was played by Loda in that third game. So yeah, we didn't get to see a Bulldog Tide, sadly. But it's another good initiate here that they desperately needed. So they have almost as good team fight now. The problem is they need to make sure they burst down the heroes. And Clinks is very naturally tanky when he has the ultimates. You have the Sun Ray now to back you up, to heal. Faces Void, obviously we all know about his time walk away, healing him back up to full. And so you have to make sure when you lock down a target, he's dead for Team AF. Because if they're able to, one hero survives, it's going to get immediately turned around and they could have huge trouble in these team fights. So so we have a mid hero left for VP, and then AF, they need carry. So what do you think?
Well, a lot of decent options out there to go toe-to-toe against the puck. Finem already got rid of the Queen of Pain, which was something we had suggested, if I'm not mistaken, from that first game in their matchup against Alliance. So they could get maybe a DK. I know DK melee-wise not good to participate outside the Chrono, but maybe in Dragon form and plus some extra push, which always goes together with the Virtus Pro lineup. Maybe they roll back and get the Tinker again. Nope, Tinker going to be banned, so no Tinker there. But it's Adfinem first, and they're going to go Chaos Knight.
Yes!
Okay.
Go! This is the same thing I wanted Alliance to pick the first game.
So they were listening to the cast, and they're just going to go with Coach Ryu on this one, yeah.
Yeah, but... nice. I really like Chaos. It's where these situations where you actually don't have the best AoE clearance for the illusions. I mean, sure you have Disruptor and Phoenix, they're decent, but the cores of Faceless Void and Clinks aren't the best for clearing out illusions.
What if they went for like an OD here? Is that too ballsy to say? Isn't OD typically good at dealing with the illusions? And
yeah, OD can shut down Puck a little bit, but I think the heroes just got nerfed to shit.
Nobody plays. I feel like it'd be a good pick, but teams are like, that hero's dead though, so we might not go for it. If it was Wings would just pick whatever the hell they want. Who cares what's in the meta or not? It's just what they feel. I would say, yeah, but yeah, they'll have to get something else. Alchemist, yeah, that could be something. That could be something. They definitely need a way to deal with the illusions, though. That's maybe a Mjolnir candidate or any sort of AOE plus being able to muscle past the puck.
10 seconds remaining.
You actually have Desolator plus Mjolnir could still work for Clinks.
That's true.
So.
Alchemist. Okay, there it is. Nicely done. And all right, I like this draft matchup better than from what we saw the last series. And I don't know. Now, do you think history will repeat itself? Will Virtus Pro be able to kind of continue that trend with the Alchemist? Does it change their timing a bit, or do you think they're still going to be able to do like what we saw? Once the level 6s came together, they used one ultimate at one lane and got a couple of ganks there. Then they had another ultimate ready and got more work done on the other side of the map, and they just kept building up that momentum. Can that happen again, or will Adfinem with this lineup be able to kind of hold their own?
I see Faceless Void getting a lot more out of the offlane than the Tidehunter, just because Clink can zone them out way more efficiently, and then the supports of VP are probably going to go and support him, and then Wisp is kind of like that X factor that kind of needs to help out. Like, he needs to help zone out the Void in the bottom lane, but he also needs to help out in the mid lane against the Alchemist. So it is very scary. We'll talk about it again. If VP can survive the first 10-15 minutes of this game and Finem don't have a really good lead, then I honestly favor their lineup going into the later stages of the game. Like if this goes past 40 minutes, it's not 80% over, but it's like heavily favored for VP. So, you know, there's timing windows for AF that they're gonna have to hit. So we'll see if they do hit that mark.
Frantic pings will be flying out here at the start, and no surprise, we'll continue to see a lot of early ward play here. And again, for what feels like the 4th game straight, we'll see this early doodad ward coming out from the Darrier side. I'm sure FM probably were watching a bit, but they're going to reserve the sentries in the meantime. But they could be heading up that way and could deal with that early ops ward. But for these wards, they already gave the intel. FNM saw what the laning situation was going to be, and we'll see what kind of adjustments they make. Aloha Dance is scouting out the top bounty rune, is going to do it in Skeleton Walk, and he takes it. That is 2 bounty runes going for Virtus Pro, Ryu, and including G, who got that early Greevil's Green. What is this? Level 1 Glimpse back. No Fear is really trying to see if he can get some early pelting damage on Thug, I guess. Pull him away from the block, maybe.
Yep, and they're doing musical lanes now, where they're rotating the Clinks to the bottom lane, so this is really good. AF would have started with a huge advantage if they managed to put the Clinks, or put the Chaos Knight against the Clinks, just because Clinks needs to get his levels, he needs to get fast level 6, and he can't get shut down early on. So AF had a really nice approach to this, but even smarter now for VP.
Yeah, with the wards, they tried to make an adjustment by shoving the Tidehunter to the bottom lane to make the most of it here, but obviously with the response coming out from Virtus Pro, it looks like another audible is in order. A TP comes out from the Chaos Knight, and they're hoping to make a level 1 gank out of it, like a la Fluff and Stuff style here. Here we go. No Fear in a bit of trouble, but here comes a long ball tether. It's a 3-on-2. No Fear slowed up, eats the Fairy Fire, needs a bit more. They need it. They got it. It's going to be Spartan who picks up the first blood as, well, Finem will strike first.
Yeah, and starting off with TPs early on just because they're like 50 gold, it's just so beneficial now. And you just put it on one of your supports, and you set up these early first bloods like this, and even the rotations. So this is really smart gameplay coming in from both teams. But now AF, first blood on the board, going to your Wisp. That's going to help him a lot, so he can get either a faster earn or boots or whatever he wants. And I guess we'll just have to look in the middle lane here. This does free up G to have a nice time here in the mid lane. He's got his Poor Man Shield already. He's got his Quelling Blade. And he doesn't have that constant harassment of like a Wisp rotating to the mid lane. So it should be a really good time for the Alk here in the mid lane.
2-minute rune is going to be coming up, and the bounty rune is actually at the top, where maybe next time we'll be there to get it. That's unfortunate, with your Alks. You typically like to see if you can get those bounty runes into your possession so you can get the extra bit out of their Greevil's Greed, but doesn't really deter G a whole lot, and he gets right back into the grind of farm, and Thug is just continuing to kind of deal with the pesky acid spray here, as G is going to be leveling it up. He's just going to have to chew through the regen as much as possible and deal with it. It's not easy, though. 15-1 CS already for G. Puck falls behind now, 9-1.
It's just one of those situations where that first bounty rune means a lot to a Puck, where he has to get that early salve out, and he wasn't able to. So, and then that kind of hurts him, where he has to play super aggressive early on against the Alchemist to try and put pressure on him before he gets his level 2. So it was a good advantage coming out early for that rune snipe coming out from Clinks.
And both will kind of manipulate the jungle a bit here. Yoku is going to forfeit his off lane and just, take his best bet and move into the jungle here. Doesn't even have the Talon on hand yet, but is just going to make do with what farm he can get here. In the meantime, we'll get some love by the magical friendly beam coming out from FNG. But this will pull 2 supports away, or not 2 supports, but 2 off the map in the meantime here. And mid lane Thug is playing a dangerous game. He's very low on life, but knows he doesn't have to worry about any sort of concoction stun. But pings are out, and FNG is thinking about maybe a go here for the Puck if permitted here in the near future.
And with the lanes keep on rotating constantly, it's gonna benefit the Clinks more so, because he hasn't died yet. He's getting up his levels now. They haven't constantly kept rotating. They just kind of backed off and saying like, oh, hey, we're gonna do top rune.
4-minute rune. Oh, it's a bounty. It's for G. He gets it, and well, Finem want to make him pay for it. Here comes 3, trying to get close enough. Ooh, Courier flying right through the air. FNG is going to give him a little bit of that love, and G stops for a moment, trades off from the Courier here, and maybe next time, good interception. Suddenly, a wild lion appears out of nowhere and is there to greet G, and they're going to get the kill. They will get the response kill, though, and now a glimpse back as they try to go for more. It looks like Spartan might not be able to make it away. Tether's up. He's out of there. See you later, nerds. Right off to the side of Skylark for this one.
Yeah, that's still a really good rotation coming in from AF. It's like, what? Where did the line? I didn't even see him. Oh my goodness, I need to pay attention to my minimap again. Not even playing Dota, but that was really good. Shutting down the Alk as much as they can, and G should be fine here. It's nighttime. They have the high ground ward freshly placed coming in from FNG on the Phoenix, and he's also sitting behind him now with the Sun Ring too. So it'd be very difficult to kill off G, even if they have 3 heroes.
Yep. It will be a bit of a slowdown here until Thug probably gets that level 6 and Coil good to go. But props, of course.
Oh, they had the glimpse up here. There we go. Top
okay, pull back for Tide. He gets off a 2-man anchor smash, but you know, we saw this pretty much in the last setup. Oh, not enough. Not enough. 15 life. FNG. Ray? No. Not at all.
No. I guess he didn't get vision like we had. Maybe he didn't see him. I'm not exactly sure.
So maybe the difference between having a Tide there and a Doom there for what we saw in that game number 1. We saw that same gank setup last time against Alliance. They had some wonderful early, strafe searing arrow damage. And then set up with the glimpse allowed him to get like 2, even more shots in, but this time just not enough to break through the reduced damage of that anchor smash.
It's just really nice what they've done with the Tide, putting him in the safe lane and then making sure he was able to get some levels. Even though he went top lane, he was still like level 2 or 2.5, and he was already setting up for a good time. Whereas if he had just started off going top, he would have gotten absolutely crapped on, and they would have had nothing. So their early game is looking very good. Problem is still you're not going to be able to shut down this Alchemist free farming, and that's going to be very concerning. He almost has his armlet, and how are they going to burst him down during the team fights? It's going to be the main question. Like, it's a lot to chew through, So we're going to have to see.
It's one of those things at the end of the day, and this is why we saw. Through Dream League LAN finals, I don't think we saw one Alchemist game, but nearly every single game the Alchemist was banned. Sometimes teams just don't want to put themselves in a position where they have to play an Alchemist kind of a game, and it's one of those heroes that you just can't leave untapped. They just get so much farm so fast, they'll become a serious problem. And with all those nice new fancy buffs to stuff like the armlet, he is just a serious fighter, and something that I hope Finem are not going to be underestimating here in game number 1. But nonetheless, G continues that grind to farm. He just got this armlet, and I'm going to look over. Now he's like, armlet, 300 gold. Next time I look at him, he's going to have another item and another like 2,000 gold on hand. It's ridiculous.
That's what Alk does. He makes sure that he's always the top. Okay, they just warded this same place, and then it got 2 wards dewarded.
Coil on the Yoki.
No,
FNG goes down in the meantime, and he's not going to be able to get the time leap off and avoid the coil duration. Meanwhile, top lane will catch the back end of this action. Aloha Dance gets off a few pelting shots for the Tide Hunter, but nothing will be there. And
he relocated home for Wisp 2 over here mid lane, and are they going to actually go on no fear here? It looks like it.
Long tether all the way across. Ooh, a drive-by of Spirit Ball action coming out from Spartan. That was cute. Nice little killing spree for him. Cute plays. And the Greeks are going to walk away with a nice 5-1 early advantage. And they don't stop there. They're looking to go for the bird now. FNG going to get sucked in. Hit with a nice connection. And another kill for Spartan on the Wisp.
But they were managed to take down the Tide, chase them down, and the searing arrows. So at the other side of things, Skylark paying with his life. But yeah, this is just full out aggression. This is what you want to see from AF to And it's a lot of success too, right? You're trying to make sure you have these timings right before their ultis are
Radiant's top
online.
tower is under
And
attack.
the big changer in that game earlier was the Disruptor ulti coming online so fast. This time Void will have his level 6 before, but still, no fear,
Radiant's top
only
tower
level
is
5 right
under
now.
attack.
And they're pressuring on all fronts right now. So this is really good from AF.
You're right. I mean, that was the difference. That gank top lane where they couldn't kill the Tide, well, against Alliance, they got that kill.
Dire's
Disruptor
middle tower
got
is
that
under
level
attack.
6, and this all worked out very differently.
Dire's
Well, now
middle
it's like
tower has
somebody
fallen.
changed something in the past. The time paradox is completely wonky with Virtus Pro, and this is the future that could have happened for Alliance if things were a bit different. Given that, yeah, of course, the draft is different, and Finem probably are taking it with a different approach. It's just funny to see Virtus Pro now on the back foot with a very similar lineup where they were so far ahead before. And ooh, we're gonna have a breakout. Madara making his move for G, but we are having a bit of a lag spike, and it looks like they're just gonna kind of get back going here. 4 seconds too, a big stun. But look at this. Now Yoku jumps in, gets off a nice little chrono. Is going to shut down the Tide before any Ravage is even going to be had here. No fear. Instantly bursted apart by Thug, who's on a killing spree. Phoenix to the high ground. FNG very low, but away from danger. Now they're going to look for a response. Madara, the CK running, hustling, toggling. Look at this turnaround play from Tide. He is back from the grave, and he's got a Ravage good to go. And that is going to help secure the fight there for Finem. Though, G will survive, and so will Aloha Dance. Looks like we are going to have a pause at the back end of the skirmish, but when the dust does settle, it would have been. It's hard to say with G disconnecting if he was actually supposed to be here for any sort of response from Virtus Pro, but nonetheless, Finem made the most of that.
He doesn't have a stun. His ulti was down. It would have been useless. He would have actually died if he was there with the Ravage, so because he had his ulti on CD. But all things considered, that was a really good chrono. Like, you managed to kill off Skylark there. He wasn't able to pop Ravage, forced to buy back, which is hurting his item progression. And then if they really needed to have the risk relocate in time, he didn't get it in time for Spartan, so that is going to be something to look forward to.
And just
How
watch how fast Madara gets healed up now. This is like a walking fountain. And he
I know
turns the
he's
corner
there.
and he's back and he's alive. And suddenly Aloha Dance is like, what the hell? No detection, though. So good.
Come on, guys. This is not 4K MMR. We carry detection in our games against Invis Heroes.
Just
All right, well,
very surprising, I was going to say, to see Finem like really on the up and up now. Not expecting a clutch decision like that. The buyback to get Tied back into the fight with the Ravage really helped them out in the back end of that. And now we're going to see them just try to really reap the benefits. They have much more of a lineup to kind of be happy to rumble it out with Virtus Pro at this point in the game. And Virtus Pro are actually the team now, unlike what we saw from the last series where they want to play around with the clock a bit. I mean, they have this Alchemist lineup, so they can afford to kind of continue to grind out the farm and just hand over some of these tier 1 towers.
yeah, you kind of have to wait out for your Void ultimate. If you don't have the perfect glimpse onto the Tide Hunter into Kinetic Storm or Kinetic Field Static Storm, it could be a disaster of a fight. And you're just gonna have to keep singling out the Tide Hunter in these team fights, which is doing a really good job. Or you could kind of single out Puck too, just because he's squishy. He doesn't have his blink yet. He went for this Veil build, and then he doesn't have his Jules too on top of that. So, so Thug is in a position to play very offensive right now, but his defensive capabilities are lackluster.
Aloha Dance going on the move, though, feeling like maybe he can pull in some early scavenging kills. Not going to find too many targets. Holds that value Blightstone here, and we'll see if he goes straight for the Deso or not. Hanging out pretty close, as maybe next time he's going to be building up what looks like another stack for his team. Potentially maybe the Tide to get a finish on a Mech or Blink. But he has spotted out Aloha Dance right now, who's waiting one more second for the Dark Pack. He's going to take the tomato creep. No. Maybe he'll take this creep. Uh-oh. Hello, how's it going? A storm's a-brewing. It's a static storm. Going to be dropped out with a nice little play. Ooh, hey, look at this. A response with Madara and company. Good glimpse, though. It's going to send the CK right back and leave the Wisp hanging here. But Thug shows up, drops off the coil. They drop off the finger, and, well, Finem will have the last laugh in the end. Nice little turnaround by them. We'll make it a 2-for-1.
Yep. And that's good and bad at the same time. With Clinks going down, that's a really good trade for AF, but at the same time, we talk about it enough. It's just giving space to this Alchemist who already has his Radiance done at 12 minutes in. This hero is just the most joke hero I've ever seen. Naga Radiance is very annoying to play against eventually when it gets to that stage, but at least it like takes 20 minutes, 25 minutes. This is just ridiculous how fast he's able to get online. But
yeah, this is Naga abridged. Just get to the point and get there faster. That's Alchemist for you. And whether or not they made the adjustments so that the illusions don't get the benefit of the Greevil's greed. It's some numbers, but they still get gold. They still do their job, and that's what's.
I thought they would make it so you couldn't get gold or something. That would be like.
Oh, he'd be a dead hero for sure. Or at least definitely that item build would be dead for sure. Oh, bottom lane Yoku looking to make a move on the Thug with a nice Chronosphere. They pop out the stun, and Aloha Dance will get the last hit. Nice little solo pick off there onto the little fairy dragon. We'll secure that one for Virtus Pro. Thought they were going to be following it up with a tier 1 push. It looks like they eventually will, but more economy. The rich get richer. Is really what it's all about.
Yeah, they were able to glimpse them from so far away, and it's just one of those situations where it's going to be hard for AF to really fight without their big ultimates online. They rely so heavily on the Tidehunter Ravage this game, whereas the side of VP, we saw it earlier. Like, if Faceless Void is Chronos down, what do? They can just use their Disruptor, who's the same thing, where you get a good glimpse, Static Storm, Kinetic Field setup, and it's just the same thing where they have 2 things to work with.
Uh-oh, they're looking for Thug here. Aloha Dance is already creeping in, but they will just cross each other's paths, but now they'll see him come back into the wave. Ooh, do they have enough firepower and lockdown for him? It's very important for No Fear to get this catch. They have the vision, so that's a glimpse into a Static Storm. Here it is, relocate! The bailout will not be there. Oh, it's a bit too long. The relocate at level 1 just takes a bit too long. And that means that they're not going to be able to get him out now. Look at this, the egg going to be popped. Here comes a Ravage from Skylark. Beautiful catch on the Virtus Pro. And now the turnaround is Matara going to be dishing out the Wild Man army. And looking to make it go, but G still hands strong, standing, fighting with the power of the Radiance. It looks like it could be just too much for Finem to handle. And boom! They will quickly wipe the floor with a couple of more. Can they get maybe next time? No, he'll be able to make it away on the back of a TP. And it looks like Skylark is even going to pop his own smoke to hustle away from any sort of danger here.
God.
I think he might be good. Don't go down. They're still pinging him. Oh, he looks like he's good. And he's out of there, but still, a fight won for Virtus Pro.
Yeah, really good for VP there, coming out ahead. And the rich are just going to keep getting richer. And the scariest part about this game is just when Alka is going to start giving the Ags away to these heroes. So you're going to have to ramp it up a little bit. And I guess the best way for them to get more aggressive is going to be, Tide having his mechanism completed soon. That's going to help out. If they had that mech nearby, they could have saved the puck in time, so he could have relocated out. They have eyes here on G. They have relocate.
Bottom lane or relocate. They're looking to bring in the Tide forward. He has no Ravage, but they think with enough manpower they should be able to do it, and it looks like they are right. A 4-on-1 really, an Alchemist all alone stands no chance. And Tide and Wisp will get right back into their business, farming up this ancient camp, and now he's going to have the mech complete once this goes down.
And it was a good kill for Chaos Knight to get him closer to his heart. So I kind of like the item choice this game. There's just so many things that can go through the BKB. Mid lane. Oh, Aloha. Grisby in trouble here.
Uh-oh. Oh, they got a sentry too. Coil's going to be popped. Looking to wind up the shot. Maybe next time gets it done. Killing spree for him. He's had a pretty nice line game so far. And Aloha Dance a bit too overzealous, hanging around, trying to kind of poke at Thug there.
Yeah, that's one of those kills where you just give away so much to Puck. You normally give him an item plus more money to his next item. So those mistakes cannot happen if you want to win this game, especially when you're making that solo play. It's a fine play if you make it with a Void Chrono or Disruptor, but solo play, it's not the play.
And now we'll have to see. This is a couple of nice boosts going the way for Finem. We saw Virtus Pro take a huge good team fight, but ever since then, You don't want to be handing over these freebies. I mean, I wouldn't call them freebies. It does, force Finem to kind of make either a rotation play or setup, but they're more than happy to get the extra little rubber band factor, or so be it. Dara going to be going right back into the grind of farm Ryu, and he already has a Reaver. He's just going armlet to heart.
Yeah, it's really good this game. The reasons why I said earlier, it's you have the Chronosphere that's gonna go through the BKB. Raw HP is what you're gonna need to survive through it. The Sunray still gonna pierce the BKB. So you have to go for this heart. I feel maybe that's not gonna be good, obviously, when we're talking about the Sunray. But can he live here? They're gonna be all. Oh my, that is
the death dust. Oh, see you later, man. Spartan takes him right back to base. Are they going to counterfight? They're looking for it. Thug, he's got an Invis rune. He's creeping in. He's going to get the Veil, the Coil. He's looking to go for G. The Finger is going to be there. He goes for the ulti. It's going to be enough to regen. The egg is going to be popped, but it's not good enough. Ravage will come out, and they'll secure the kill for G, and Madara returns to action with Spartan, and the two of them easily take down No Fear. It's going to be 2-0 on this one. At Finem, man. Wonderful turnaround play by them, and another wonderful save coming out from Spartan on this Wisp.
Oh, really well played. And then what made matters even worse was the fact that Chaos Knight, if he had dust up 8 seconds left, they would have got the kill on Clinks too. So they're a little bit fortunate here. Now this is a good play to, go high ground here, force some rotations back. Alchemist, maybe force a buyback out. Force the Glyph as well, so you can push the other tier 2s, but sticking around right now could be very bad. Like, you don't have your Ravage, they don't have their Chronosphere too, so they realize that their big ultimates are on cooldown too. But
no egg either. This looks like a pretty breezy, easy tier 3, and not really done yet, but now they're going to see the rotations coming in. They hesitate. Madara looking to pull back. G hustling forward, and there's going to be the glimpse. Did not go for any sort of special timing. There's going to be the jumping from Spartan, looking to help out a partner in need. Madara, good. No, he's out. Oh, and he's dead. Looked like he almost made it out. Spartan was close that time, but they will take Madara down, and Spartan will have to come back later into the fight while G, Yoku, and Aloha Dance hustle forward. They're going to get Skylark down. Wisp returns. FNG goes up in arms with him, but look at the turnaround play. No Fear drops down the Static Storm right on top of Thug, which will take him quickly and cleanly out of the fight. Spartan trying to go for the TP, but not going to be happening. They got the glimpse for him, and Virtus Pro will take this fight back. They hold wonderfully and get a double kill for Aloha Dance. And I think at Finem, it was great to get the tier 3, but lingering around just a little too long.
Yeah, that could be the game deciding moment too. Like, if you look back on it, it could just be all over from there. And yeah, you can see how important this Roche is, and they just can't get there fast enough. This stun is a little bit questionable.
Thug though. The timing. If he actually jumped to that, I would say he might have been able to grab that right there, though. That obviously would have been just way too high risk, high reward for him.
Yeah, that with those buybacks now too, they absolutely need to get something done.
Okay, maybe next time he's got a Blink Dagger. He jumps in. They're gonna get the stun. They're gonna get the pullback. G's in trouble. G needs to get healed up. FNG is trying. Response Chrono coming out from Yoku. Relocate. Save. They pull him right back out. Maybe next time gets the finger off, but now he's in trouble under Yoku here. G gets back into the action now. Ravage follow from Skylark as he gets stunned on the way in. Can they burst him down in time? They certainly can. Now comes the return of Madara and Spartan. But Madara falls fast. Spartan falls almost just as fast, it looks like. Or not. Yep. Yes, so. Yeah, double kill too. Okay. Back end of this one, though. It looks like Thug sidesteps here. G's waiting for him. Can't get the vision, though, to get the stun off. Thug's still hustling away. Then G. And G. Oh, okay. It looks like Thug's going to make it out from any sort of trouble. And when the dust does settle, Ryu, it's a 4-for-4 trade.
I would say that's actually good for AF. All things considered, they might have used a lot of buybacks, but at least they took away the Aegis away from the Alchemist, so they don't have that to play around with anymore. That was some really kind of sloppy play, though, coming in from AF. Like, they relocated the Wisp plus the CK back into the opening arms, and they both just died, whereas they almost were able to kill off the Void by themselves, but that hurt them. And then another thing is, we have to go back now to this tier 3 thing where they were going high ground. Like, they're underestimating how much damage Sunray is. Percentage base, especially with a heart, you immediately have to relocate the CK. He's just always going to have to get relocated immediately.
That's the one thing, you know, a nice early commitment to the heart. And we all know, like, CK is one of those heroes that benefits heart more than most. But then again, it also just comes back to really bite him in the ass when you're going against something like the Phoenix here. So that's where you got to make sure your paramedic and your Spartan, who's done a stellar job this game so far, is really going to have to make sure he is on his A game. It looks like he has a Ghost Scepter to help him out in case of those frantic moments where he's trying to get in for the clutch saves, or at least returning from a clutch save. But still, they have a journey ahead of them here. Yeah, good against the Clinks. I mean, the Clinks could get a defusal, I guess. I don't think it's on his radar right now as a BKB is in order, but we'll save him from the heavy hitting damage.
Yeah, he'll get defusal next, 90% sure. I'm not trying to figure out what else he could really go for. Normally you would go MKB or Daedalus, depending on what you need for more DPS, but you have to kill the Wisp in the team fights. So, and if he has a Ghost Scepter, somebody needs Diffusal Blade. Potentially Faces Void could go for it too. So, but yeah, he definitely needs a BKB first on the Clinks, which he's going for. And then, oh my goodness, Alk has the BKB now. AF's lineup is becoming more and more useless now. Like when they have the BKBs on the 2 cores, there's not much that goes through it. So
yeah,
the only way for AF to really win these team fights now is they're gonna have to the Blink Ravage that they have online for Skylark. They're gonna have to surprise them, or they're just gonna have to kite them constantly.
It's like one of those games with the Alchemist factor. Like, you know, if you happen to, like, you know, you wake up or you happen to get back home and you fire up the Twitch, you see your team's playing, and there's an Alk in the game, and you can just look at the net worth now. And yeah, normally Alk is a little bit ahead, but when you see that he's this far ahead, then you know it's going very, very nicely. But here we go, fight's gonna be breaking out. A jump on forward, they get Madar under the chrono, and now the right click comes out, and they commit even a Static Storm on top of it, all to get down that CK, and it will pay off. Can Virtus.pro get anything else? No fear. Already committed the Glimpse, so there's not going to be a follow-up Glimpse play here, but it doesn't matter. They get what they need, it looks like, and they'll just have to settle for that.
All right, AF. This is one of those situations you actually can't save your poor. Oh, they have Eyes of Aloha there. He's gonna need that timer. I'll remember it.
Whoops.
31.
Throw out
54.
some different numbers and maybe. Oh yeah, 3154. Classic.
Wasn't
classic
it 3152? No, maybe I'm. Yeah, never mind.
I don't know secret codes. I'm not
I forgot
agent.
now.
Still got 6 minutes though if they want to kind of meet the quota here, but all in good timing for Virtus.pro. Obviously very, very wealthy at this point. Biggest, most significant net worth advantage of the game so far, pushing now past that 10K mark. XP is also kind of catching up a bit, and as it goes on, it only gets easier and easier for Virtus.pro. It's without question the ball is in Finem's court to kind of turn this one around, but there are not many options left for them. They're going to have to maybe find some pickoffs or just pull one hell of a surprise play here on Virtus.pro.
Yeah, the problem with Chaos Knight is he's one of those heroes that actually needs so many items, but he can't farm it fast enough. And in this situation, you're just like saying, "Oh, look, I can right-click a creep here. I can right-click." Well, that's not pushing out lanes fast. That's doing nothing. And he needs an AC to counteract all the physical DPS, but he also needs an MKB desperately to counter the Radiance. So I think what's priority right now is probably getting the MKB so he can actually kill the Alchemist. And you're going to have to bank on your survivability coming in from your Wisp, your Mechanism, from your Tide, but it's a very hard game from AF right now. So they're going to have to play perfect from here on out if they really want to win this.
Let's see if they can do it. For the most part, looks like Team AF are going to hustle towards the north to at least pressure towards this tier 2. Probably figuring that maybe Virtus.pro are going to hang around this mid lane, then go to the Roche and stay far. We'll have to see if that's the approach that Virtus.pro are indeed going to take or not. For right now, just kind of you know, with their full BKBs,
Dire's top
probably
tower
happy to
is
take
under
any sort of
attack.
fight that would come their way.
Dire's
But
structures
as
are
G will
fortified.
kind of stay forward and continue
Radiant's
to farm
middle
on
tower
the
is under attack.
AF side of the map, the rest of Virtus Pro, looks like they may cross paths here very soon. Madara is still hitting the tower
Radiant's
here
bottom
pretty
tower is
confidently.
under attack.
There's a jump in from Yoku. They're going to need a relocate save, and there it goes. It's just a minor
I
pullback.
glimpsed
They don't
them.
get it.
Yeah, glimpse.
Don't
Too
get it.
strong.
Nice glimpse play comes out from No Fear. And now Spartan is in serious trouble. He was just planted, waiting for that save. He'll ghost right now, but he is as sure as dead. And it's another strong Virtus Pro fight. This is, you know, Finem really going to be down in the dumps at this point. I mean, the kill score says 20-20, but I can tell you it's not even.
Oh yeah, it's just what? How much is the gold lead right now? Yeah, 12K, and that 12K is about, I want to say 20 to 25K at this stage in the game, just because of how well VP's lineup scales into the later stages of the game, and how far ahead they are right now. So it's looking very grim for AF, and they.
Radiant's
I mean,
middle
like I'm
tower
talking about,
is
they're
under
just gonna
attack.
kick themselves in the foot when they look
Radiant
back on this game,
structures are
diving for
fortified.
that tier 3 Rex.
Yeah.
Tier 3 after it. It's just like, if they just relocated out CK at that moment, they would have won that team fight, but didn't happen. And then now you're seeing the effects now of the disruptor. Like, he's getting accustomed to playing against this Wisp relocate. So what is he doing? He's preemptively casting the glimpse, knowing that the relocate's coming. So
Yep.
good
Really
plays
no
coming in
reason
from
not
No
to,
Fear.
because he's going to die what looks like almost either way. So wonderfully staged from Virtus Pro at this point. And, you know, it's one of those frustrating things when you're going to have to go back and check the replay if you're Finem and, you know, look at what was pretty much the definitive tipping point of this game. And that's where you have to, you know, reevaluate how much discipline you're putting into the game and making sure that you don't get too hasty and overextending. I mean, it looks like it's so good. It's right there. You could taste an opportunity.
G?
Top lane,
Top
though, they make a jump for G with a relocate. He mantas off, but the finger gets him, and with all that burst, they'll lose their Alchemist. And Ryu, an Alchemist kill does give over a pretty good penny, if I'm not mistaken. They nearly get 3K of a gold swing based on that. Wisp gets about 1,000 gold for taking him down. And
That's
here
that
comes
solar
Finem, you know.
Oh,
Mid
Spartan
lane,
dead.
though. Yeah, Spartan.
TP.
They found him on the way back. He is
Dire's top tower
trying to
is
hide.
under attack.
He's dead, though. Get that frickin' ball.
Dire's top tower has
Got
fallen.
him. Last swat will come out from Yoku, but the rest of Finem push forward to get a tower and are actually pinging out like they want to go for the high ground now.
Dire's top tower is under
This is
attack.
really good for them. Do they Wisp have? Yeah, Wisp has buyback, so he can relocate in. Problem is still, though, that Faceless Void plus Clinks, I feel like, will just destroy Chaos Knight still. Like, they don't even need Alchemist's DPS at this stage of the game
Yeah.
to win team fights. That's the scary part. And that's how far behind AF are right now.
Yeah, Alchemist, like, get him out of the game, and this game feels kind of even, just based on the share of net worth between the Clinks and the CK. It's almost just as if this Alchemist is like one awesome insurance policy for Virtus Pro at the moment. And, well, confident to still be able to make it work without him. It looks like Roche is up, and Virtus Pro are going to go ahead and take him down. And obviously with the power of Clinks and Desolator, and now even has a crit to stack on the extra damage, it really takes no effort at all. And with the acid spray, he melts like butter.
He did.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
So, question now is, what are AF going to do to hold their high ground? So, their high ground is decent, but they're going to have to find a way to wrap around and kill Phoenix first. I think if they're able to kill off the Phoenix before he can really use his Sunray, then there's potential for them to win the team fights. The Sunray is just destroying Chaos Knight more than the Clinks.
Yep.
And that shouldn't happen as a core or a support. You know, but as you know, abilities.
Oh, pull back here is just going to be on a creep. Sorry, I got a little overexcited about that one. At the top lane, though, where G could be spotted out. What is this? Skylark just hanging out behind a tree. Oh, maybe next time jumps in, but it's onto the illusion. And now a relocate all in for this. Oh, it's disaster for Finem. They're going to be losing their Lion. It looks like they might be able to get the catch for Spartan. They're waiting for the glimpse. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Get the hell back over here. And they take him down too. Double support takedown will be awarded to Virtus Pro on that one. Man, it was a valiant effort. They tried to lay down a trap to get a hold of the Alchemist, but G will not be caught.
Got a courier. Give me that courier.
Dire's courier
Double
has been
damage.
killed.
Oh,
Fish.
he gets a nice little last laugh on that one. Oh, I keep forgetting I can't. I have to switch my courier hotkey because they changed it where now you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever for all the heroes. And I used to have number 2 on my courier. Now I gotta switch to something else. Well, nonetheless, courier or not, Virtus Pro do not falter, and now they come from the north, and they're knocking on the tier 3, and it is made of paper goddamn mache. Oh my god, look at everything fall. Oh my god, they hit so freaking hard. Yeah, this Rax is done for. And they'll try their best. Madara gonna pop out. He gets 4. Well, counting himself, I guess. He gets 3 illusions, but they just turn around and walk away. He can't get the catch on nobody.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
And with Madara using his ulti like this, this is very crippling. Very crippling. They need to get some kills ASAP.
Uh-oh, what? That... Oh, I thought that was... Okay, the other team's Static Storm. It's just going to be a zoning Static Storm, but it doesn't matter now for you are dead, sir. They will even gladly do a small little time jump right there with the relocate to get that kill.
That was a really bad Ravage, too. Now they don't have... Okay, so now they don't have Ravage or they don't have Chaos Knight illusions.
I don't know what the hell they're going to do now.
Oh, they don't even need Disruptor.
Okay.
This is very bad.
Looks like they spotted out maybe. He's going to be able to get the blink away just as Yoku jumps in. Thug gets off his own little rift. And Finem are going to dance around a bit, but they're not going to be dancing for long. Virtus Pro are coming, and Finem don't have much to stop them with no more Ravage to work with. They do have a coil. I don't know if that's going to be enough, though. Still have no ulti on Madara, and Alchemist is just giggling away as he just crushes this tier 3. They still have the Aegis on Aloha Dance. This is going to take one hell of a Hail Mary play for Finem to survive this one. Here comes Virtus Pro. They're looking to dive back. Yoku still reserving the Chronosphere. Doesn't even feel like it's necessary. He'll just gladly save it up. And come on, guys. You can't even finish the Rax. Well, Madara's going to force him to come back and try to finish it. They pull him back in. Chrono right on the egg. Time dilation beautifully between the two. Can they get the finish? Yes, they can. 1 and 2 both go pop. FNG's egg cracks. Yolk is just spilt all over the floor. It's a hot mess right now. Fry up the watermelon. And the towel will be thrown in. It's going to be Virtus Pro who will claim game number 1 of this best of 3.
Yeah, that was really well played coming in for VP, punishing Team AF for being a little bit too greedy at times and just holding on. Like once this game was kind of past that 30-minute mark, it was just easy sledding for them because they were just able to farm faster and they were just way more ahead in the item department. And that's just the problem with Alchemist, man. It's just like no matter how many times you kill him early on, he's like the old Shadow Fiend or the kind of like the old Storm at times. You just can still just go to a lane, clear it out, go to the jungle stack, clear it, and then all of a sudden you just have all these items. And then what do you do? What do you do? But it was a really close game, all things considered, for the first 20 minutes of the game, 25 minutes, and then it kind of just got out of hand.
Finem put up a hell of a fight, and Virtus Pro were not able to kind of steam over them, kind of like they did to Alliance in the first game of the day, but ultimately Virtus Pro will get the win, and now it's match point for them to secure a spot into the, well, I believe the finals, and we'll see, though. Otherwise, Finem, if they get a win this next game, will take it to a game 3. That's Ryu Borez. You can catch him over on his Twitter at RyuuDota and catch me at KotLGuy. We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it's going to be Game 2, Virtus Pro versus Finem in the Summit 5 Europe Qualifier.